I am a woman.
My corn dog is still intact.
Stay out of Disney World.
It's Pride.
I'm indoctrinating the youth.
All straight people are gay. They just haven't found the right person.
And a lot of them are queer because I am queer.
And I too occasionally misgender myself.
There's only boys and girls.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's June. I know we're all probably celebrating, so happy Great Outdoors Month. I hope you and your loved ones are spending some time outside, grounding yourself in reality, because the people we're going to be talking about today clearly are not doing that. It's also Pride Month. Yeah, but this year, things seem to be a bit different, right? The energy is toned down, and even corporations that used to slap a rainbow on every product, on every profile photo, they seem to be pulling back. But why? What changed? Today we're going to be talking about what Pride Month has actually turned into, and why even many in the LGBT community are saying, yeah, this is not it. Something has to change. But before we start, subscribe? We're gonna start with Lilly Tino, ranking every women's bathroom at Disney World. Because nothing says I care about safety like filming random women in the restroom and then posting it without their consent while you, a biological man, invade their space. Let's see if Lilly got the validation that Lilly wanted. Oh no, Tiffin's restaurant is only a 2 out of 10 because Lilly got misgendered right before this pic, so the vibe was off. Someone dared to acknowledge biological reality. I think I know why Lilly is such a Disney adult. I mean, I have a few reasons why, but one of them is because Lilly loves to play pretend, and when other people refuse to do that, Lilly takes off points. The bathrooms are now being judged based on how many actual women affirm your cosplay. Someone gave me a weird look when I walked in, which felt icky, well maybe because they might not have been feeling safe, because you should not be there. But for some reason, you, a biological male, your feelings matter more. This is misogynistic. This comment, I felt safe. Girl, no one else did though. As a real trans woman, can we ban Lilly Tino from our community?
I am a woman, and I use the women's restroom, and there ain't a damn thing you or Trump or your Republican party's going to do about it.
Well, if anyone was still confused on how Trump could win, one of the reasons could just be that people are tired of this nonsense. And it keeps escalating with Lilly.
I think Disney's gonna ban me for this one. My corn dog is still intact. I'm not happy about that, but sadly it takes a long time to turn a corn dog into a inverted corn dog.
Trans Mickey Mouse ears, using a corn dog as a metaphor for bottom surgery, likely surrounded by families if it's anything like the last video where you were talking about cake pops, referring to your genital mutilation surrounded by kids. You can hear them in the background. And no apology. No, just oh, I'm back at Disney World. I guess I wasn't banned. That is not bravery. That is not representation. That is exhibitionism. It's turning identity into a performance that waiters, parents, and children never asked to attend, Lilly. Again, if your own community is telling you, stop doing that, this is incredibly inappropriate, could you at least listen to them? If all the cis people are so evil and so bigoted for telling you, maybe don't talk about your genital surgeries while kids are around you, could you at least listen to the other trans people?
I do hair removal every week for 2 hours straight. It is not fun or easy, but once that is finally done, hopefully by the end of the year, they are going to take my corn dog, are going to cut it down the middle, will then take off the outer lining, lip it inside out, and make something of a tunnel.
Breaking news, y'all. Lilly Tino was correctly gendered at Disney World again.
From Thailand.
Yes, sir.
Cool.
Yes,
Ma'am.
Yeah, ma'am.
If we meet and you call me by the wrong pronouns, it's gonna be a confrontation. And I don't think you want that.
The only confrontation you should have is with whoever did your FFS because, yeah, go ahead and file a dispute. Go ahead and check the box that says you did not receive what you paid for. You continuously demand respect, but have no respect for anybody else. Matter of fact, you just posted another video, the one of you entering Disney World, right? Proving that you are no longer banned. And then as soon as you entered the park, started yelling out cake pops and marshmallow tunnels.
Can't keep me out of Disney. Marshmallow wands, cake pops.
Because you're talking about gender reassignment surgery in a children's park. Yeah, so sir, I hope you had the day you deserve. I will say I was looking forward to the confrontation, but unfortunately that didn't happen. Stay out of Disney World.
I was misgendered yesterday. A little girl at the mall, she was maybe 5 years old, sitting in a wagon, kept staring at me. So I made eye contact, and she said, "Are you a girl or a boy?" Her mom started to go, "Oh my god, we accept everyone. That's so rude, you can't say that." And I laughed, and I bent down on her level, and I said, "That's okay. It's confusing sometimes. I'm a girl. I just really like boys' clothes. They're pretty comfy." She got all excited and she said, "I'm a girl too." And I gave her a high five. I said, "Isn't it so great being a girl? I love being a girl." She said, "Yeah, that's my brother. He's a brother because he's a boy."
Someone send this to Lilly Tino. Please.
So I said, "You're right. Brothers are boys and sisters are girls. There's only boys and girls. If you're born a girl, you're a girl. I was born a girl."
Instead of spiraling, instead of, oh, there's going to be a confrontation, I'm a girl. I may dress like a boy, but my biology will never change. Common sense. Living in reality.
That is how you address gender to children. You don't. That is how you empower little girls and let them know that it's okay to be a girl who dresses however you want without having to change your gender.
This is the kind of grounded perspective we used to have that was so common before things like TikTok indoctrinated a bunch of people, especially in Gen Z, that getting a septum piercing, that cutting your hair, that changing your pronouns in your bio suddenly makes you another gender. Boys can like stereotypically feminine things. Girls can like masculine things. You could have short hair. You can play with trucks. As a girl, and you're still a girl, you don't have to chop off any body parts when you're older. You don't need to try to rewrite biology or invent a new gender just to justify your identity, which could be a tomboy, which could be a feminine man.
That is how you avoid confusing children, especially children that aren't your own, and projecting your bullshit on them because you might be offended that they use the wrong pronoun.
Real homophobia still exists, especially in other parts of the world. Some people are just trying to exist in peace, and they still face hostility. There is a difference between those people and someone who is trying to force everyone to use neo-pronouns, or who's fighting for the right for men to compete with women in women's sports, or be housed in women's prisons. It's important to remember that, and you can call out inappropriate behavior without pretending that every gay or trans person is part of the same circus. And yes, you are free to identify however you want, but you cannot dictate other people's speech. But unfortunately, this attitude of you have to play pretend or else isn't just online, it isn't just in women's bathrooms, it's in the classroom too, especially during Pride Month. So let's watch.
It's Pride. So many people already think I'm indoctrinating the youth. Well, right now it's June, so kind of am, yeah. What? I'm bringing Blues Clues Pride. I am bringing queer portraits. We're learning about the pride flag. We are reading the books, especially the banned ones.
Pause. Did you know that a lot of those books are banned because they include actual pornography? You're reading that to kids? Have you heard these students, the parents, talking about reading from the actual banned books? I want you to be more specific. What banned books are you reading to them?
Learning about queer icons. And on top of all of that, I am teaching how to create a social media post for when they become, those people. But it's the end of the year, and it is important that we continue our learning, continue our understanding, and that is what we are doing here in 5th grade. Biggest things I want them to take away is this quote from Miss Major Griffin Gracie. I want us to look at the similarities more than the differences. If only more people could do that.
That's why I put up a pride flag in my classroom to remind us of all of the different sexualities, not something that unites us here in America, for example. The American flag, perhaps? Oh, crazy concept. We would much rather in a classroom full of children have a flag representing different sexual preferences.
Links to resources are in my bio, so check it out. Ebooks, slides, lessons, whatever you need to talk about pride in your classroom. Yes, and happy Pride from this trans educator. Woo!
So we can help more teachers indoctrinate more students. Yay! When I was in grade school and high school, teachers did not talk about their sexuality or their gender identity. But even in 5th grade, I remember, we were told, because we had a few students in the school, right? Some kids have 2 moms, some kids have 2 dads. That's it. That's all we were told. And we're like, okay, there was no, and some parents are demisexual, and some parents are in a polyamorous relationship, and some parents get whips and chains and go to these pride parades that are labeled kid-friendly. No. Pride parades used to be about acceptance, right? Just normal celebration. Okay, fine. Now it's public, we'll say quirks, half-naked men and women simulating certain acts, even when kids are present, and then labeling those events family-friendly. The second you call it out, though, you're homophobic, you're a bigot. If a bunch of straight people were doing the same thing, everyone would shut it down. Rightfully so. But it doesn't make it okay because you're gay. There's no oppression badge that makes public indecency acceptable. Boundaries matter no matter what. The double standards are crazy. If we had a straight Pride Month and teachers would say, this month, children, we're celebrating heterosexual individuals because of their sexuality. They're straight, and that's really something to be proud of. How is that an accomplishment? Kids don't need activist mentors. They need teachers. Teachers who respect boundaries and teach them the curriculum. But now we're at a point when teachers are making videos saying, yes, I'm indoctrinating the youth.
I was watching that video online and I was not impressed at all. How do you have a 16-year-old girl stand on a stage saying all straight people are gay, they just haven't found the right person? You're talking to these teenagers who are going through puberty either late or early and are all confused only to add this kind of content to them. You know as well as I do that kids are not thinking straight at this time of their lives.
No pun intended. Ha!
To me, this is psychological warfare on them. They let them grow and figure out who they are or want to be. In work, I worked with all kinds of different people, gay, straight, trans. Not one of them would ever sit there and push it on anyone.
Exactly. This is not anti-gay or anti-trans or hateful. She just said, let kids grow up without this pressure to label themselves. What do you mean? You're not straight? I'm sorry. Is this conversion therapy or school? If you showed a video targeting gay students, would you be like, yeah, you're not actually gay? You're not. It's like, what? Just let them live. Why are the teachers concerned with their students' sexuality? And the teachers that make their own identity the center of the classroom? It's weird. It is not your job.
My kids from last year are now in 5th grade and they come visit me almost every day after school. And a lot of them are queer because I am queer. And they figured it out.
What? A lot of my students are queer because I, the teacher, am queer. That's what you just said. But I guess we can't say anything, right? Because that would make us bigots. That's normal.
So I've become their safe space. And today they found my Guess Who. And they started playing Guess Who, but they didn't play it the normal way. How did they play it? They used things like, this person looks like a lesbian baddie who's going to come over and make you dinner. Well, which one of these characters is a lesbian baddie that's gonna come over and make you dinner? Oh, Olivia is? Oh, great. Which character just looks gay? Well, meet Mike.
Okay, first of all, calm down. What's going on here? Why is she acting like a child? She's supposed to be a teacher, right? What is she's like out of breath? She's just sitting. Oh, my students are gay because I am gay. And we were playing Guess Who? And they thought that she looked gay. Gay! Also, which character looks like a lesbian? Are we teaching children to assume other sexuality based on their appearance? Because I thought we weren't supposed to do that. I thought that was offensive.
These kids, I'm so happy that they are figuring out who they are and that they're happy with who they are and that they found a safe place. But man, I could never imagine being in 5th grade saying these things out loud, even though I know they're all okay. I grew up super religious where nothing was okay. And so seeing this happen, I'm like, but I'm also like, yay, but
A lot of this is not, oh, I'm just supporting the students. It's you're shaping them. Yes, this character does look gay. Yay! That's not education. What are you doing? Happy Trans Day visibility from your favorite trans teacher. Wow! This is in the classroom? Also the music. Oh my goodness. Also, speaking of performance, let's talk about JoJo Siwa, who was a lesbian icon for a while. Then she became queer when she met this man on Big Brother while she was in a relationship, by the way, with a biological woman. So that was a bit weird. She was cuddling with him on the show. Well, now they are no longer platonic. There's a photo with this man. So she's no longer gay, I guess. Which, you know, whatever. That's her life. Cool. Some people think they're one thing and then they realize, no, I'm actually this. That's not the problem. The issue is this constant performance of identity for clicks, for praise, for virality. And I get it, she didn't have a normal childhood. She was pushed into the spotlight as a child. But now, as an adult, she's making these choices to do all of this publicly. But then don't expect people to take your activist messaging seriously when your personal brand, when your sexuality changes every week. Because at this point, coming out feels like a marketing tactic. And also, you can't demand equal treatment and then claim that your sexuality makes you so unique that you need a month-long celebration. You can't claim I'm just like everyone else and then I'm extra special. I deserve special treatment.
Today's pronoun of the day is flow flows. Just remember that these pronouns were requested by someone who does currently use them or intends to use them in the future. So claiming that neopronouns don't exist is erasing someone's experience.
Oh, really? Oh, could you tell Flo to take Flo's medication?
I miss Kim so much. Have you seen Flo today? Yeah, I ran into Flo at the library earlier today. Flo was working on Flo's presentation for tomorrow. Oh, nice. I've been meaning to ask if Flo needs any help with it. I think Flo would really appreciate that. Flo said that it's been really hard to handle all by Flo's self.
If I said I am a mason jar, my pronouns are mason jar self, could I then ask this woman to make a video for me, a personalized pronoun video, and would she then say, just so you guys know, someone really does use mason jar pronouns, so it's really important to be super kind and use these pronouns or else. Or should we say, guys, whoever requested this, they're mentally unwell. This one's funny. Happy Pride Month to everybody but me, because I came out as bi 4 years ago and only recently realized that I was just extremely insecure when I saw an attractive woman and wasn't actually attracted to them, and I then came out as straight. 160,000 likes. Hashtag pride. Is anyone coming out as straight this Pride Month? Comment below.
My father still messes up my pronouns all the time, and not maliciously or for lack of trying. And I too occasionally misgender myself. Now, what do you do if you happen to get someone's pronouns wrong? For a lot of people, it's actually worse to make an apology and ask for their forgiveness.
You know, when you can't even remember your own pronouns and you expect other people to?
And the thing that will help you get someone's pronouns consistently correct is to practice. And always make the effort to correct yourself when you're wrong. And to correct those around you when they are wrong too.
And also, apologizing is wrong, not apologizing is wrong. You have to correct it. No, you don't have to do any of that. Again, go buy whatever you want, but that is your business and your problem.
Happy Pride Month. In my Target that used to have the Pride section, it's now all USA. Yay. It's an American summer. Except for tourism, because tourism's down because no one wants to come here. USA, woo!
Oh, really? Tell that to the millions of people trying to enter the country, even illegally, risking their lives to get here. She's acting like the patriotic year is a hate crime.
And honestly, my dad serves in the military, and I'd love to be really proud of this nation, but it's hard to be proud of it under Donald Trump.
You could show a little bit of pride in your country regardless of who's in office.
But hey, you know, while you're here, pick up a USA bikini. You know, why not? Yeah, Target's really taken this anti-DEI thing to another level.
Target just realized that a rainbow tuck-friendly swimsuits for kids, there was backlash. People weren't spending their money at Target. And guess what? That backlash did not come from just bigots, right? Oh, they're so hateful. It was coming from normal people who are tired of this. If you genuinely thought these corporations were on your side, I hate to break it to you, but they're on the side of profit. Always have been. And when pride dog leashes with neopronouns on them aren't selling, they're gonna pivot. Also, girl, you are in America, so it makes sense, regardless of the month, to have American flags around. America being America is not a shock, not in June, not in July. It's always America, every month of the year. And again, that's something that unites us all as Americans, regardless of sexuality or gender. Certain things, yes, accept, but you are not perfect. This is true whether you're trans or not, whether you're straight or gay. Doing something inappropriate and then trying to use your sexuality or gender identity as a shield, Lilly Tino, hi. That is not behavior you should accept. If this applies to you or someone you know, you should watch my video over on my second channel where I talk about just be yourself, not being the best advice for everyone. If yourself is someone that is talking about your sexuality or gender identity to other people's children when you should be teaching them math or science, don't be yourself. If you're using your identity as a shield against basic social boundaries, don't be yourself. The issues are focusing too much on what people cannot control. You're gay, cool. You're bi, cool. You're straight, whatever. Let people live, do their thing, okay. But the issue is when you think you can use that as an excuse for inappropriate behavior. And also, be proud, yes, but be proud of what you've accomplished. Focus on that, your work ethic, your character, not just things you can't control. And if the most interesting thing about you is who you're sleeping with or the new gender label you gave yourself last week, then maybe it's time to develop a personality. That's all for today's video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, remember to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Share the video so you can see more like this, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.